I want to make this video in the hope that it's gonna help anyone who currently wants to stop smoking or vaping. I've been smoking and vaping for a total of now 30 years, 30 and a half years. And, the desire to stop vaping, because I've been smoking for the first 20 years, and I've been vaping now for almost 11. So it's actually 31 years in total. And the idea to stop smoking and vaping has started to form in my mind, I would say, around a year ago. And I think there have been a lot of moments where I actually could do it on the spot, but I decided not to. I'm following my own method, but my own method is informed by the knowledge that is available outside and that I want to share with you today. The first part of the Stop Smoking starter kit, which is a starter kit, but is also the final kit. And, you must want it to be the first and only attempt at stop smoking. So the first element is this very, very famous book, Allen Carr's Easyway to Stop Smoking. I know that now he also made a book, The Easy Way to Stop Vaping, but this one is good enough because what matters is the philosophy that you're gonna learn from that book. And I would describe his writing style as very concise. He basically is giving you no BS. He is giving you the honest to God truth, which is that smoking and vaping too, the nicotine, at least in the vape, e-liquid, is poison. But you know this. You always know this. But he says that obviously there is a brainwashing that goes on and grows as you become a smoker. You start to have all your excuses or justifications. There are many types of smokers. There are the ones that are fully in denial. This is more true at the beginning, I would say, when the damages are not apparent, and not just the damages, obviously the financial expense. In the case of smoking, the bad breath, the smell of smoking, and of course, just to repeat myself, health, cancer, throat cancer, lung cancer, and all the amazing stuff that we know smoking does to our body. So Allen Carr, obviously talks about all of that. But I think what's really interesting and what's really innovative in his method is that the book helps you to reframe your mindset. So everyone who tries to stop smoking uses what he calls the willpower method. What does that mean? Is that conceptually, you tend to see stopping as a sacrifice. And what this book does, it helps you reframe this mindset. Because truly, stop smoking is not a sacrifice. Smoking is, I'm correcting my own sleep. Smoking is a sacrifice. Not smoking is what is easy. However, because, I've been conditioned by many, many, many years of smoking, now the smoker sees stopping as a sacrifice. So the fundamental point here is reframing not smoking not as a sacrifice, as a gain. Because as I just said, it truly is a gain. I mean, you only have to gain in stopping. Gain in health, in finance, in appearance, if you want, because of the stink of cigarettes. And it does so through the book, so I cannot, and I won't go into details, but as you read this book, your mindset will be transformed. um, okay, at least this is what happened to me. As I read the book, my mindset was truly transformed. And the book is very easy to read, and there's no jargon, there's no difficult concepts, and it's easy to follow. It really is. And because there are absolutely no need to say what he wants to say uh, with difficult terms. And it's also kind of well written for a self-help book. So to conclude this little section about the book, I'm at one of the last chapters. He allows you to smoke throughout the book, so you don't have to make the commitment to stop smoking as soon as you start the book. The commitment will be made really at the end of the book, where I am now. And I will be stopping vaping today, not tomorrow, not next week, not in a month, today. However, as I said, the idea of stopping started to mature in my head, months and months ago. And then, I entertained the idea for all this time until, it necessarily had to become an action. Um, because, vaping is stupid. I mean, how many times? It's better than smoking for sure. I've been vaping for 10, 11 years. I went to the gym, I ran, I still cycle every day, and all of these through vaping. So, and there is research as well that prove that vaping is not as bad as smoking. However, it's still BS. So many times I had, vape liquid running on my fingers because the tank was leaking. I spend a lot of money in vape device and vape liquid. It takes a lot of time from my life, really, that I could be doing something else. And, you know, the nicotine is still harmful, probably, even if it's not as harmful as the tar and, the substances, the almost or more than 1,000 toxic substances that there are in cigarettes. It doesn't matter. It's still, you know, it's still something that is not, honestly, not worth doing. Now, I'm almost finished actually with this part of the video about Allen Carr. There is an example, and again, I cannot quote all of the book, but there is an example that really has stuck with me, which is, a smoker looks forward to go on a break from work. So, he or she can smoke the cigarette. And then, they think, if I didn't have this little reward, this little pastime, my life would be more empty, less rich. Yeah. And this is the mindset that I was speaking about just before. Is the mindset of, you're missing out on something. You miss out on this constellation of little rewards that somehow fill up your life, the dead moments, and gives you a tone as well. And he makes this example. You think that you're going to have a little reward every now and then, but in reality, what nicotine addiction, because this is what we're talking about, is like having a pair of very, very tight shoes on all day, and then you go on a break, and in the break, you're allowed to remove the shoes, and you think, I feel good, but you feel good because you removed the really tight, uncomfortable shoes, which is metaphorically the nicotine addiction. So, in reality, this is what you're doing. You are not getting a reward, you're getting a relief. Yeah, I know it's basic what I'm saying, but it really is shifting the mindset. And that's what this book will help you do. Now, he talks also about, the futility, the uselessness of substitutes. But, just to be on the safe side, I got myself a substitute. Now, my substitute does not contain nicotine. My substitute is not patches, is not anything else that contains nicotine, but is this that they recently invented. And I want to say, I'm not sponsored by anyone. You can probably tell by the awful quality of my video that, this is, just a genuine video, and no one is paying me for anything. So, what is this? This is the next step in deleting tobacco from the face of the earth. So we first had smoking, then we had vaping. Now what we have is flavored air. This device is called FUM. It's quite expensive, but then again, what are 100 pounds when you're gonna save 1,000 in, when you stop vaping or smoking? You invest 100 pound now, and what you're gonna get is the psychological ritual that all the smokers have without any of the damages. And I'm planning to use this really maybe just a month, because actually Allen Carr has a point. Every substitute is BS, but just to maintain that little thrill, psychological thrill of an oral fixation, I guess, to be able to do this. Inside here, you put a cartridge, which I will show you now. There are many flavors, like with vaping, there are thousands of flavors. And you put a cartridge. The cartridge is basically flavored, flavored air. So there's an essence in here. In this case, we've got orange vanilla, but there are many others. White cranberry, maple pepper, and let me not list them all because doesn't matter. There's even an airflow, and what I plan to do every time I have a craving for nicotine, I'm going to basically substitute with this. Yeah, taste is not even that strong, but basically every time I will have a craving, I will be aware that I will have a craving, and I will pull from these until even these will become redundant, and maybe then I'll sell it on eBay. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep it. But what I'm sure I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of everything tobacco or vape related. And I'm going to do that now. I'm going to put it in a bag. I'm going to put a message, take it, and I'm going to put it outside my door, and everyone who needs it will take it. I'm also going to add in the message, I quit today. Because obviously I don't want to have temptations. I mean, why should I do that to myself? My only to go thing will be this. I will be doing this every time I have a craving. And let me open a little uh, piece, parentheses, on cravings, because obviously that's what you're gonna encounter if you stop smoking or vaping. You cannot avoid cravings; they will happen. What's the best way to deal with the craving? The best way, absolutely, and I tell you as a recovery worker who has helped people um, coming out from addiction for 12 years now, is to face the craving, is to be aware you're experiencing a craving and accept it fully. Even doing this is not fully accepting the cravings, but we're all different, so you can tailor your plan to stop smoking or vaping according to what you think is best. But some awareness about the craving has to stay. There are many, many, many techniques to deal with cravings. There are many philosophies even about that. Distract yourself from the craving, keep busy, and so on. I think the best one is just be with the craving, because the nature of craving is to lessen with time, and they will. And again, I'm coming back a little bit to Allen Carr. In this idea of reframing the mindset, there's also, you can even enjoy the craving. When you experience a craving, don't think, oh, it's so painful. I cannot stand it. When will it go? No, think about, I just quit smoking. Yoo-hoo. I just quit vaping. I'm free. I finally get into a state of health. I'm loving myself. This is really the best and most honest thing you can say, because another idea could be, how about all these positivity sounds so fake. There's so many self-help books that say, you need to have a positive mindset, but really these are only empty words. You can't turn a negative into a positive at will. I mean, it's a ridiculous idea. But what Allen Carr is saying, it tells you the whole truth, yeah, which, yeah, there will be a craving, and yeah, it might be a bit difficult, but really, you are loving yourself. So in this case, you can be positive with a good reason. There's cause to be positive here. It's not just, positivity for the sake of it. And this brings us to the last part of my personal stopping vaping plan, which is, just to ensure myself even further, I'm doing a 30 days meditation pack where on Headspace. And you know, I've did I've done the first 10 days so far, and what I've learned is basically, to be more aware about the cravings. And I already started to experiment with it, even though I haven't officially quit vaping yet, because I'm gonna do it today, but after this video, and I will do it, I promise you. I still had cravings, because if you vape or if you smoke, you're gonna have cravings that you're gonna satiate, but you still have them. So sometime I deliberately postpone, and I stayed with the craving, and I stayed with the breath. So every time I had a craving, as I've been taught from the meditation, try to stay with the exhalation of the breath. You should feel better about it. And also, you maintain your awareness. And the craving will inevitably lessen in time. Now, before we conclude, I want to say that, this is just my personal method. I'm 100% sure that will work because I feel very motivated to do it. I think also that, in order to stop, you have to at least be halfway in your motivation. Your motivation must be at least 50%. If your motivation is less than 50%, you would not pick up the book, you would not buy the flavored air device, you would not do the meditation pack, you would not think about quitting, you would be in a state of pre-contemplation if you know the cycle of change, which is, the cycle of change is basically a study of how every change in life works psychologically, but we don't have time to go into that. So your motivation really has to be at least 50%. I've seen, for example, my mom stopping smoking, and I know that she tried many methods. She started to smoke, Marlboro light, sorry. Then she tried the gum, and this was a process that went on for years. I mean, and then she finally stopped. So, that was a very long process. Another person that I know, she has stopped in a moment. One night she decided, I'm not gonna smoke anymore, and that happened. So you can create your own process, and you will learn what works and what doesn't. However, I will conclude by saying that probably the best way to decide to stop is to set a date. Another important thing, if you are not one of those people that stops in a moment, like this person I know, and and you want to set a date, try to do it maybe on a Sunday, or anyway during a day where you don't have many stressors, because obviously stress in life calls for cravings. We are all used to, I mean, people who smoke are used to smoke when they have a particularly stressful period or moment as a response. And so the list of these moments that create stress for you are, when you're trying to stop, probably the easier the process will be. That said, I'm gonna end this video, and I hope that someone somewhere will be helped by it. Bye.